The Harper family, Sadie, Sawyer, and Father Will is trying to cope with the sudden passing of the family matriarch in a fatal car accident. Sawyer is plagued with nightmares, while Will immerses himself in work. Meanwhile, Sadie has difficulty fitting back into school, because her former friend Bethany has become part of a group of girls who clearly don't appreciate Sadie. Then one day, Will is visited by a man named Lester Billings who asks to talk with him. Lester sadly reveals that his 3 children have been all taken away from him, one, by some kind of being that has now set its sights on him. Despite being moved by Lester's plea, Will is skeptical and leaves him to call for help. Unfortunately, Lester has disappeared into the house, and Sadie later finds his body in her mother's art closet. The family is still grieving over Lester's death but tries to go on with their lives. Sadie then notices a bizarre mold growing around the house, while Sawyer catches sight of a strange being hiding under her bed. She tells Sadie about what she saw, but her sister is unable to find the creature and doubts her story. The 2 girls then went to see their therapist, Weller, to discuss their mother's death. With the help of a flashing light, Weller attempted to assist Sawyer in overcoming her fear of the dark, but unfortunately, Sawyer caught sight of the creature once more and ended up wetting her pants. The creature still haunts Sawyer's house, leaving Sadie to suspect it is connected to Lester's death. She listens to Lester's recording and researches the Billings family, eventually finding their address. Sadie has Bethany drive her to the old Billings residence, and as soon as they get there, Sadie finds Rita, Lester's distant spouse, living inside. Upon questioning, Rita reveals that the being haunting the family is the Boogeyman who is responsible for the death of her children. Rita informs Sadie that the creature is nourished by fear and likes to torment its victims, which is the reason for the nightly assaults on Sawyer. It has the power to imitate voices. The only way to scare off the Boogeyman is to bring in light. In a fit of panic, Rita spots the Boogeyman looming over Sadie and fires her gun, making the petrified Sadie flee the home. Sadie continues to have nightmares of the Boogeyman, and as the mold spreads throughout the house, the encounters become more extreme. Will and Sadie then attempt to discuss Sadie's mother's death, with her pleading for Will not to remove the art cabinet. In the basement, Sadie appears to encounter the ghost of her mother, holding a flickering lighter. In an effort to lift her spirits, at school Bethany lends Sadie a comforting hand by planning a girls' night at her place. Sadie coughs up a tooth that Sawyer had lost while smoking. She soon realizes that her nightmare could be true. As a joke, Bethany's friends lock Sadie in the art closet, and she's faced with the Boogeyman. The group of girls become involved in an altercation which results in them leaving Sadie's house. Meanwhile, Sawyer is assaulted by the Boogeyman and tossed into a TV, sending her to the hospital. There Sadie is contacted by Rita, who claims to have figured out a method to destroy the creature. Sadie arrives at the house where Rita has arranged a snare with numerous shotgun rounds. Rita unexpectedly attacks Sadie, intending to use her as bait for the Boogeyman. He appears and becomes ensnared in her trap, but manages to survive and kills Rita. Sadie escapes and runs away from the place. At that time, Will calls Sadie to find out her whereabouts, and Sadie soon comes to the conclusion that they are now back home. The Boogeyman then attacks Will and Sawyer, forcing them into the building. Sadie arrives and discovers a frightened Sawyer who says the creature had taken Will to the basement. Determined, the sisters venture below and discover the creature preying on their father. Without delay, they rush to Will's aid and the chase to escape the basement begins. With the assistance of Sawyer and her mother's guidance, Sadie is able to ignite the creature, seemingly killing it and obliterating the fungus throughout the house. Later they have a collective session with Weller, having made progress since their ordeal. When Sadie was about to leave, she was called back to the office by Weller only to find that the person she was supposed to meet wasn't there. The closet door was open, and Weller was standing there. He questioned Sadie, who gave him a suspicious glance before quickly shutting the door.